Welcome in, everyone. Congrats to Alex on first. Sorry, I had something come up like right as I pressed live, so I'm just trying to finish it up. There we go. Okay. Welcome in. Um, we're working more on the Riverside. Oh, I forgot to do that. Forgot to do the text chat because I got distracted with uh with that last minute thing. Um, we're working on the Riverside Scholars again, and then more crochet, or not crochet, cross stitch. I did make another eyeball today. I experimented. I used two different colors, like put both strands together as I was doing it. Was two just down? What's seven? I thought that was seven and a two and just upside down. Oh, this? I guess maybe I don't know. Their bags are weird. Oh yeah, but I used a red strand and a blue strand together at the same time because I was just experimenting. But I sent it to Steele and she's like, "Okay, that one's really creepy with the multicolored eye." And I sent a picture to Crazy, and his coworker, our friend, was like, "I want one." And I was like, "What color?" Red. So he wants a red eye and red tentacles. So now I have three eyeballs. I need to buy suction cups when I go shopping and put them on the front window, and I shall start the eyeball parade. a petite lily, a petite lily. I don't know how you say that. A bag trap. I thought about that one. I thought about using because I use like the baby blanket yarn for them right now, but I thought about if I went to like the normal thin yarn, if I went down to that size, then it would be smaller in general, because it'd be a smaller hook and thinner yarn, and I could make keychains. I did think about that, Alex. I did think about that. I was like, I should try it with like a size 4 hook. Cause let me show you. Cause like right now I use this yarn, which like if you see it next to my finger, it's like fuzzy, like the yarn I use for the thing, but I use a big hook. Well, it's probably the biggest hook I've used so far. Like this. But if I use like a 4 or a 4.5, I think the blue one is 4.5 or 4. Okay, so this one's a 4. See the difference? Like, probably not because that one isn't colored. So if I went down to like this or slightly bigger, like I said, like the 4.5, I found the 4 and the 5, but not the 4.5. That's a 5.5. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. And I went down to like a thinner yarn. I could do like a keychain. Alex, all the encouragement with the eyeballs. You got on a carrot so fast today. Like, no, you leave our eyeballs alone. Be like, we have a plan for the eyeballs. You leave us alone. Okay. It says it needs these two. But yes, I could try that. A thinner hook and like lower weight yarn. And I could make eyeball keychains. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. You buy the little like key ring Like, it's just a keychain and a couple links where you would attach it. But yes, I could open up that bottom link, clip it into the yarn, and close it. And then I'd have eyeball keychains. I could see that. I'm gonna move this one this way because there we go. This way I can build the attachment things over here. I love them too. I love how I like. Okay, so I always call it like creepy cute. You know how some things are like so ugly they become cute? I think things can be so creepy they become cute, which is, I know, weird, but it has been raining, I don't know, like most of the night and all of today so far. And I don't know when it plans to stop, but if I lose power, it's because the storm has, like, made its next pass. Crazy sent me a picture this morning, like a text picture of like the weather radar or whatever, because he's at like a conference where they're talking about weather and, you know, um, like emergency planner stuff. But it was the entire state of Arkansas, like on an angle from like the top the top left corner across the whole state to the bottom right corner is all one huge storm system, literally covering the entire state right now. So, if I lose power, fear not, it's because of this stupid storm. Or if I lose internet, it's probably from this stupid storm. And I fiddled with, I don't know, this is probably like the fourth or fifth time I fiddled with that stream together, like off stream, trying to figure out like what I was doing wrong or what step I was missing. Because I would follow the thing, like, so I'd click stream together and like everything would pop up just fine except for my camera. Like it wouldn't show my camera. So then I click like the turn on camera and the little window pops up and it says um essentially like if you're using anything but Twitch's platform to stream, um you have to turn on like virtual camera. So I click because it comes up OBS, but I'm using, I guess, Slob Streamlabs OBS. So I switch to that one, and then it gives you instructions how to do that. So I turn my virtual camera on, and then it's like click your virtual camera from the drop down of available cameras. Except it would never show up, but I got it to show up today. So maybe I was just being impatient before. I have to take Joe to get a Happy Meal soon. He wanted microwave cheeseburger and chips, but they didn't have the chips at the corner shop. So, in figuring out what we are going to do, he asked to just go to Starbucks. Right? Because Starbucks, I mean, yes, it sells food, but not like food. Like, that sounds bad because they do sell food, but not like a whole meal food. It's like quick on the go sandwich or egg bites or like something quick breakfasty. But I don't think of them as like food. Like dinner food, I should say. That place, that place that sells the stuff, Mom. It sells the food. That's where I want to go. I know I was going to do the grocery shopping this morning because I was like, if I leave the house at like 8:30, I'll get to the store like right when it's opening, and then it'll take like an hour to grocery shop and come home. Mainly because I wander up and down every aisle. Like it probably wouldn't take that long if I would just get what I need and get out, but I like to wander through the store. Um and then it was raining and I thought, no thanks. Like when it's raining, I have like yeah, just subs too. Just subs. I want to go to just subs. So I don't know if you guys have it there. They're not even everywhere in the states, so I don't know. But it's called Noodles and Company. Um the kids just call it Oodles and Noodles. They're like, "Mom, can we go to Oodles and Noodles?" Am I doing that right? I feel like I missed something here. No, this one, then this one, and then three fours, and oh, I see it now. It blends. But the kids for the longest time, and they really still do. If I go, you want to go to Oodles or Noodles, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Um, but they changed some of their menu, so I don't like them as much now. Like what's on their menu. But yeah, I know what you mean. The weird places we changed the name of shops to, just. So we did the like refer a friend to the like backup home. So like we have homeowners insurance, but then we also have like insurance through like a warranty company. Because like homeowners insurance is like my roof, the tree fell on my house. The homeowners insurance takes care of stuff like that. But like my dishwasher stopped working, or my garbage disposal stopped working, or my fridge is leaking, like homeowners insurance doesn't cover that. So we have like a secondary insurance for stuff like that. And we referred a friend. And so it was like if you refer somebody, you get a gift card and they get a gift card, kind of a deal. I put that too far forward. Um, so it was like if they decide to go with it, then like they get $100 gift card to Amazon, and so do you. So I used some of the money from that gift card today to buy a a spooky cross stitch book. It has 25 spooky cross stitch designs. So I'm preparing for October. Really, we'll probably start next month and just go straight into October because Halloween needs more than 1 month. I did message Steele and I was like, I'll buy you the eyeball pattern, and that's what we should do for our co stream part of my stream anniversary. And she was like, oh my God, that is what we should do. And I was like, but I know you think it's creepy. So if you don't want to do that one, that's fine. We can pick a different pattern from that lady and do that. So we'll do something. I don't know what that something is. I asked him what he wanted for lunch a few weeks ago when we were in town, and he said he wanted a ham sandwich. I sat there thinking where I was going to get him one, and I said, he'd have to wait or pick up something else because I didn't know where he'd get one. He just went, but subs. But the subs. Mom, the place that sells the subs, they sell the stuff. So Crazy loves places that do like subs and stuff, and I'm not that crazy about it because I can make a sandwich at home. Like I get it if you're out, you stop, but like sometimes it'll be like where you want to eat, and he'll be like, "There's Firehouse subs," and I'm like, if all you want is a sandwich, I can just make you a sandwich at home. The meatball marinara. Okay, she does have two faces. She's got like neither one is like they really look the same to me. So let's see if I can get it to focus. So that's this side. Come on, focus in. And that's that side. I think there was an accident and they printed the same face on both sides. Maybe there's not an accident. Maybe there's something slightly different that I'm just not picking up. Oh, I think the eyebrows are slightly different. Yeah, the eyebrows are slightly different. So I think it's that I don't really like condiments and stuff. So a lot of those places I wind up just getting like a ham sandwich or ham and cheese sandwich. So it's kind of like iffy. I like Jersey Mike's, but I can get like a Philly cheesesteak there minus the cheese. But and then I get with it with like peppers. So that one isn't that bad. Plus, there all you can get any sandwich as either a wrap or a salad. So I like Jersey Mike's, but I still don't eat there a ton. Oh, I guess I can just leave it like that. Well, I'll turn it this way. This way we can both see it. That's beneficial, right? Both of us being able to see it. Nope. Joe wants just a plain ham sandwich. He does not want anything else on just ham and white bread. Yep. That's pretty much what I get. Me and Joe, we can eat the sandwiches together. That's also usually what Fantasy gets. Just ham and bread. They're like, "Do you want lettuce? Do you want?" She's like, "No, just ham and bread. Ham and bread." Oh, come on. There we go. Bear tick? Tick? Usually starts yelling about a rainbow cookie once we've ordered our sandwiches. Is it like a cookie with sprinkles? Or is it like the sugar cookies where they frost them? You have different designs frosted onto them. Welcome in, Laura. I hope you're having a wonderful day and a good week. Yeah, I've seen those before. Yes, it's like a 4-day weekend. I guess I could just turn it this way and then it still works. I don't know why my brain was like, no, we should leave it turned that way. So I thought more on the book clubby thing, and I already have a channel in my Discord that I just labeled book stuff, where I try to share like sales I find, like where they have like the stuff your Kindle deals, where it's like 1,000 books, they're all free, or things like that. I try to share sales in there, so we could just use that same channel as like a book club channel. Sorry, my brain farted like right in the middle of that. We would just have to like vote, maybe like on how often, and then what day, once we know how often, if we want to eat like once a month, twice a month, and then vote for like a day and time. Okay, have a good din din. Have good tea. I feel like that top square, maybe that's better. There we go. Oh, I pressed up, not down. So I was like, we did that, but I guess they could be wanting another one there. Nope, pressed up instead of down. Stick into my finger instead of. Okay, I thought those were the same size. They are not. Here we go. Nope, there. Then the longer one, the other color one. The kids have off tomorrow and Monday as well, which the boy usually doesn't have class on Friday. Like, there'll be optional classes, like if you're not doing well in whatever subject, or you just have questions about an assignment, whatever, clarification about how to do something, you can pop into those classes at, the appropriate time. Um, but usually there's like an assignment or two and the optional classes on every Friday. So they don't have all, he doesn't have technically off on Friday, but then again, they typically don't even have school on Friday really. So he's got like an assignment or two to do, but fantasy has completely off. And then we're gonna go meet Crazy where he had his conference this week. It's only a couple hours from the house, and spend the night there, do some family stuff that night and Saturday, and then drive home. I guess that is feels like a lot of parts left over, but also they're all normal parts that are left over. Oh, I did bring that. These bags are killing me. There's so few pieces, and I know I've said it like a million times. I'm sorry if it feels like I'm harping on that, but I just feel like I'm like zooming through the bag, but there's just not much in the bags. This is the first baby bag there's been. Before this, there's all the pieces I've just been in the main bag. It's the first baby bag. But I am enjoying this set. I like the all the colors, and I'm liking the theme, the motif. There's gonna be all the bookshelves when we're done. We have a skeleton head in this bag. So I watched, what is it, the I want to say Thursday, but then my brain's like, is it Thursday or is it Tuesday? Whatever, the new show on Netflix, the Tuesday, Thursday, whatever it is, Murder Club. And apparently there were only like a couple episodes because watched it and it didn't take very long. So I was a little sad about how quick it was. Maybe I'm wrong and it's not episodes. Maybe it's a movie. But I love anything with Helen Mirren in it. I love her. She was doing an interview once, and they were like, if you could go back and tell your younger self anything, what would it be? And she's like, give less fucks. the the male who is the guy who was interviewing her was like, what? And she's like, you heard me. Give less fucks. Care less about men's feelings. Just care less about what other people think in general. And I was like, I think that's solid advice. So we built a little shelf, and we're gonna put that there. Another shelf. there we go. It did not want to get on the little dot right. Ooh, the storm is going strong out there. Oh, come on, turn. There we go. No, you still didn't turn. What is going? Sorry, I'm just making sure it isn't like a weather warning or something like seek shelter now, tornado. No, not a weathery one. It's crazy from his class. Ah. Apparently, I cannot hold on to things. Ooh, we're gonna put the skull right there on the shelf. I love it. A while Pakarusu? I probably butchered that so badly. Nope, you're not the right color. But you are. Sorry, I'm like, let me just get rid of all the notifications so I stop freaking out. Or my brain stops freaking out. This is the shelf this time. Stick that there. Ooh, now I can square up that little one. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and 1. Ooh, I caught it. Light up the sky so to see, falling like angels. So this is how they're doing the like torches in this. Yep. What are you? You're 11. You're 12. Where did 10 go? Ugh. There it is. Wonder if this would be a little bit better. Maybe. You can kind of see more of what I'm building instead of just like looking down on it. Not sure I've heard this song before. My brain didn't put the lid on, but it's it's the roof or the ceiling, not necessarily a lid, but that's where my brain went. Where am I putting this? Oh, this way. It's kind of odd that they don't put the brick facade out, but we'll see. Maybe they have a reason. Oh, you're not going to really see it, so yeah, that makes sense. Like I said, I'm sure they have a reason. Nope, a space in between. Then forward. There we go. Jar. And then a bottle. Oh, we made like a little kind of alcove on the inside. So it made like more spacing, trying to like it's built into the rock on the inside. I like that. That's a cute little feature. Little, I don't want to say hidden thing, but you know what I mean. How? I was not gonna go out to the shop today, but I have $15 voucher to Michael's that's gonna expire, so I might as well use it. So I guess we are gonna go do some shopping later. Hopefully the rain, you know, calms down by then. If it hasn't, I'll just use the voucher online. I'm not crazy about driving when the weather's like super bad, mostly because we have lots of back twisty turny roads, and it isn't so much that I worry about like my driving, but I can't control how other people drive or animals. So we've been building up kind of like this corner. Okay, looks like white, then pink. We go. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. So it's gonna be forever. We're gonna go down in flames. You tell me when it's over. Just what the pain. So there's a bunch of Taylor Swift songs that got like covered by metal bands, and they would sound so good. And at the same time, I'm like different, like it's the same enough that you're like, oh, I know that song. It was a Taylor Swift song, but at the same time, it still has like its own sound. Oh, I needed 2 of the red dots. Or squares, not dots. Okay. My nails are like getting too long to the point where I guess they're kind of being in the way. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, they're growing. And now I've probably jinxed it and they're all going to break. But okay. Looks like I can't hold a freaking brick in my hand, but yeah. Just say hello. This always takes the pain away. So I did add in like a one-time date for the stream anniversary into my schedule. And when I went to do that, yesterday's was there, even though it wouldn't let me like press save. So who knows? But yeah, I remembered to do that. But I think I forgot to check it off. I still need to add a sound for like the ads and a sound for raids. Maybe I'll do a search for like spooky raid alerts or something like that to kind of go along with my graveyard ghosts whatever theme that I got going on here. Because I love the Halloweens. I like the spooky season. Come on, get on there. Welcome in, Yellow Witch. How have you been doing? Well, I hope. We are working on. Sorry, my brain was like, where are we putting stuff? Uh, the Riverside Scholars set from Bricklink. I think it was in series 4. I think series 4, series 5, something like that. I feel like I should know that, but at the same time, my brain's like, huh? But I hope you have been doing well, friend. Have your kiddo. Well, I hope things make a turn for you too, that they go the way you want them to. Um, you have as I finally refer to all children as a minion. They're minions. Um, a minion still in school. I know being in Europe, your school like year is different. Um, do you go more all year round, or do you have like a set like summer break? And I shouldn't even say like being in Europe because there's even schools in the US that are like considered all year round versus having like a definitive summer break. But I don't think there's quite as many. This set has so many like like bright colors. I'm used to building Harry Potter. Everything's just tan. Well, it won't stick if I don't put it the right direction. I guess where I was getting with that is, has your minion gone back to school or is going back soon if they have like a definitive summer break? I see the yellow, the blue over here. Yes. There we go. This is interesting. I keep trying to guess in my head what it's gonna look like. Oh, not in school anymore. Okay. He's in his second week. Well, I wish him the best of luck. I wasn't sure how old. I'm never sure how old people's minions are. But I call them minions or tiny terrorists, so depends on the day, depends on the time of day. Well, where we're at in the day or how they've been that day. I used to tell my kids that all the time, like I don't negotiate with terrorists. All the time when they were little, and they'd get all crabby and like, you're at that point of the day, like I've answered the same question or the magnitude of questions so many times that you're just kind of like mentally done. And I'd be like, listen, I don't negotiate with tiny terrorists. We are going to have ads in about 30 seconds. They'll go for 3 minutes and then we'll be good for an hour. I know ads are annoying, but I think it's better to get 3 minutes of ads than get ads when you come in, like pre roll ads, and then you could get hit with regular ads on top of it. So, this is the best way I found to deal with ads. It's not like you can get rid of them completely. So, this way gets rid of pre rolls. Um, yeah, mine are pretty much past that age too, but I still love the phrase. I don't negotiate with terrorists. No, no negotiations for the tiny terrorists. Um, if you're subbed, you don't get ads, and if you have turbo, you don't get ads. Not ploys or plugs for either of those. Just more informational. Now it looks like a waterfall. I think that's what it's supposed to be. A waterfall. Like part of that. Like as you go up, it will. This will be like the bottom of the waterfall. I use it on my nieces and nephews too. Nope, I don't negotiate with tiny terrorists. Okay, we're in ads, and I don't build during the ads. There was something I was going to check while we were in ads. This is technically the second um Bricklink set I've bought. Like, you buy them during the pre-sale whatever, the crowdfunding stage. It's actually the second one I've bought, but the first one I've built, because I bought the Chocolate Factory, but it's always had like a Christmassy feel to it for me. So I've been holding off, or not necessarily Christmas, but like winter feel. So I've been like holding off till like cooler weather, which means I've had it for like 6 months already. Um, but I want to wait till like cooler weather to do it. I don't know why this set just makes me feel like wintry. Okay, I was gonna do something. What was it? I was gonna quick look at something when we were in ads. This is why I write things down. You're back. It's a you just get bloop. If you were gonna get ads, this is what it would be like. Bloop. I was saying this is technically the second Bricklink set I've bought. You buy them during like the crowdfunding phase. Because really, technically, like past that, I think you have to like just buy it from somebody who's willing to sell their Bricklink set, or somebody who bought two. Um, once they're past that like crowdfunding stage. But the other one I bought is the Chocolate Factory, the Chocolatier Factory or whatever, but it has like a winter feel to it for me. So I've been like pushing it off and pushing it off and pushing it off, like till we get like wintry weather, and then I was gonna build it. Well, and then I am going to build it, not was. That's still my plan. But like, so technically, I've had it for like 6 months already, and I bought this one after that one because they go in cycles. Um, but I also bought in the last one, the last crowdfunding stage they had. I bought the Transylvania Adventure, but I was like, oh, that'll be perfect for like October Halloween. But it doesn't isn't supposed to ship till November. So I was like, oh, that's a little sad. But yeah, like I kept looking at them and going, no, I have a bad Lego addiction to begin with. That's not like throw in special limited time buys, or you have to like search high and low and potentially then be more expensive. Um, but welcome back, everyone. Um, so I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I'm not gonna do that to myself. And my husband was like, hey, and now he sends me messages and like the emails. He'll be like, it's gonna crowdfund it this time. Make sure you pick which one you want. My husband's an awful enabler. A relationship with two enablers is potentially dangerous. Um, so that's our household. Two enablers. Add in the kids, we have like four enablers. But yeah. Um, so I he didn't get one the last cycle when I got the Transylvania one because there weren't any he liked. And I think he like one of the he bought one from one cycle and I didn't get any from it because I wasn't crazy about any. So we don't always each get a set. And usually if we're each gonna try to get a set, I try not to buy, like I don't get like the most expensive one, and neither does he, to kind of like keep the price down because that's gonna hit at the same time, the coming out of the bank account. Um, oh, grab a couple bags because I got tiny arms. But yeah, I don't know what's in the next one. Let's look it up. I think the next one is series 6. I'm not positive though. Oh, I'm so jealous. I would love that. So, this is the next one. And you can do like the pre-order crowdfunding, whatever you want to call it, October 6th. And then they just go until they basically run out. Yep, no problem. Oh, it said something. I was trying to see if they had the prices on them yet. Nope. I was hoping they had the prices on it, but they do not yet. Carefully. Oh, come on. There we go. Ooh, rain. It makes me so sleepy. Okay. Let's start from the inner corner. They have this. Then this. I think. Okay, I think this goes there. Oh, you weren't supposed to stick to my finger. Then leave the pink visible. Then this. Okay, there we go. Okay. Looks like this there. This. Pelipper. I really need to pay better attention to the Pokemon. But since I put it where it throws the ball itself, it seems I pay less attention to it. But also, my desk is usually crowded and I don't really have room to reach over everything and type. So leaving it there is best. Like the auto throw. Maybe I should add a pokey sound in for that. Okay. Looks like a 2, a square, a 3 next to it, and that, and then the same thing, but reverse. Okay, this is down here, so this is even with that, then that there, corner, square. Back was my friend who I've tried to get a hold of all day, who finally called back. That's all right. Real life always takes precedent. You do whatever it is you need to do. Take a phone call, go to the bathroom, run to the store. I completely understand. We've been doing good. Knock on wood, you know. We getting back. Sorry, my brain is like, huh? It started raining, I don't know, early morning, and has been raining ever since. And my body's like, oh, it's dark. Let's go back to sleep. Why we don't sleep at night to begin with, but so I don't know why the sudden urge to go back to bed. But um um but the minions started school like 10 days ago. I don't know, something like that. Um, Mid August, and so we're getting back into the swing of things, you know. Um, so like my streams change, like time wise, a little bit at the beginning of the school year and at the end of the school year, because she doesn't have extracurriculars. So I have to be like in the pickup line at the end of school. So they changed just a little bit, and then after that, like first month of school or so, they kind of go back to what they were during the summer and what they are most of the year, honestly. So we're in that kind of like transitional period. Today's the first day where I've done the 12 to 4, because she's got her first D&D. They really call it tabletop games club, but they just do D&D. So I don't know why they don't just call it D&D club. Um but whatever works for them. So she has that till 5, so I can do my regular 12 to 4, and then she starts archery twice a week, which is usually Monday, Wednesday. um like mid September. And the boy does virtual school, so he doesn't actually leave the house. But this year they like over the summer they upgraded or changed, whatever computer jargon to what they call OLS, their online. Yeah, bow and arrow. She is pretty good. So they shoot like at a meet or like just in general. So they shoot a target. It's not 10 feet, like 10 meters and 15 meters. So they will shoot 3 times. They have 5 arrows, right? Because, or 6 arrows. No, sorry, they have 5 arrows and they shoot that 3 times. So, like, they'll shoot, they'll go up, because there's usually 2 to a target. They'll go up, they'll score each other's shots, then they'll pull their arrows and they'll come back and they'll do that 2 more times. And then the way they move is different. Sometimes they move the whole target back 5 meters, or sometimes they have the target stay in the same spot and they just move their quiver back 5 meters. And then they shoot 3 more times the same way, and they can have a total score of like 300. And she scores about a 260, 270, and will only be her 3rd year. So she went to summer camp a couple summers ago, and they did archery at summer camp. Just like a little thing to do there. And she liked it, and she came home and she's like, oh, I really liked it. So we bought her like a cheapy ambidextrous bow. So if she didn't really stick with it, it was only like $50 compared to like 300 or 200. And so she really liked it. And then when we moved here, the school has an archery club. And I classify it as a sport. The state of Arkansas does not. So that is why it is called a club and not a team. And they don't get very much funding from the school itself. And because the school and the state of Arkansas considers it a club and not a team, they cannot go out looking for scholarships for it. Like, the school has to approach them. It's some weird thing that the scholarships work different because it's considered a club and not a sport. But they have tournaments, they have nationals, or they have state tournaments, nationals tournament. In fact, like the United States as a whole, like as a country, you have every state has their version who chooses to participate in it. It's called National. It's NASP is the acronym. It's like National Archery Schools Program, Archery in Schools Program, or something like that. And each state that participates in it, has their own state level. And then the kids who qualify at states, the country is broken in half, like East and West. And those kids go to East or West to play at like a national level against kids from other states, not just other kids in their state. And then the kids that are at like the top tier of those kids go to a world's tournament where it's like every kid who scores like above an 83, I think it is, in the whole of the United States goes to a nationals, what they call worlds. So like there is big tournaments, and like you can win a $5,000 scholarship. You can win a $500 scholarship. I mean, it is a big deal, but the school like Now, we don't consider it a sport. It's a club. And I think that's because we're in the South and football reigns supreme here. Like the football team needs it. Oh, yeah, yeah, we'll get right on that. We'll get you anything you need. It's so dumb. It's not even like the school, it's the state of Arkansas has classified that is not a sport. It is a club. Because it's not just her school district, it's every school district, and the state has to follow that rule that it is a club and not a sport. Like I said, I think it's just because we're in the South and football reigns supreme here. That and I've heard that it really hasn't been around for a super long time. So that may be it. Like, as it continues to hang on, uh, maybe they'll eventually change it. But I don't really know. There's one. There's the other one. But yeah. So it's she enjoys it though. Like I said, this is only her third year, and she has gone to nationals both her first and second year. Apparently, she just picked it up really well. I think cheerleading is a sport, but I'm not positive. I've never like looked it up. But yeah, for some reason the archery gets lumped in the same as like debate club and chess team. Like it's I don't know. I guess cuz it's more mental than physical is what they deem it, is how they decide. Oh, no you didn't, get out of there. Silly little piece trying to get stuck. You has returned. Was it good? Was it everything Joe wanted it to be? I hate when a brick is turned just a little bit and then you can't get the other brick in between it because it's turned just a hair. There we go. Oh god, 6 little squares. He's still eating it, seems happy. That's all that matters. I mean, it is. They definitely have to have some crazy arm strength. But she shoots two different ways. She shoots at a regular target, like a bullseye target, and then like what you think of like the square bag target. But she also shoots what's called 3D, which is kind of a misnomer because it's all 3D. um, but what they consider 3D is like there's usually like a turkey, a bear cub, um, a wolf, an elk, a deer, and a ram. And so you have to find the little like hunting target, like a deer. So you have to find the little like heart or like where they're like a kill shot essentially would be, and you have to shoot this. So instead of it being like, I mean, like the bag targets like come up to my waist. They're pretty tall. They're like 2-3 feet tall, and just as wide as they are tall because they're square. And so the center target on them is a decent size, even from 15 meters. But a lot of, not as many kids choose to do the 3D because you go from that, like, you know, center target of being like this to hit it to maybe this. Like, it is a harder to hit center or close to center, um because it's an animal, not a bag. So she does that too. And a friend of hers who she did archery with, the girl graduated last year or whatever, but she did national, like, rifle association, bow and something, hunters association, something like that. Uh and they do, you get one arrow per target, but there's 30 different 3D targets like that. So they'll have like a panther and a gator and a yeti and all these different types, but you get one arrow per target. And so you'll go from like trying to shoot a moose. And keep in mind, they're all artificial animals. Nobody's shooting moose out there for real for these competitions. But you go from trying to hit a moose with a big target to trying to hit a gator to this little, like, dime sized center point. And I mean, it's not like you score nothing if you don't hit center, but that's always the best score, is to hit center. But even the rings around that aren't terribly much bigger. So I have to look into it and see how we get registered, because to do that, it's like separate from what she does with the school. And there's also another company called Center Shot that does archery tournaments too. But here at the house, she has we bought these poles that, you put like the chicken wire on them. So they have like the hooks going all the way down the pole to help keep the chicken wire on. We bought two poles like that, and under the advice or the recommendation of the guy from the archery store we take her to, it's like a mom and pop. They sell all kinds of like hunting and archery stuff. Um, a horse stall mat, and we stuck it between those two poles so it holds it up and it doesn't let it like bend and buckle down. And that's to catch any arrows that like miss or whatever, just in case. And she has that out in the backyard, and we have poles marked off what's 10 meters, what's 15 meters. And then she has a deer and the standard bag target, so that she can practice here at the house, because they don't get together and practice over the summer. So I feel like that's, easy to, like, I don't want to say like get bad or whatever, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like anything. If you're not practicing and keeping that muscle memory fresh, you can, go backwards in scoring. So we have them at the house so that she can practice. I got kind of lucky with both. I found the deer on sale on Amazon. Like, it was like a random sale. And the bag, I think, was on sale too. I found it. The bag target was on some kind of like deal they were having at the store. But it can get pricey. The first year she played, they were like, if you want to compete in tournaments or things like that, you have to have your own bow. If all you want to do is like join the club and practice at the school and you don't want to compete, you can use the school bow, that's fine. But if you want to compete in tournaments and stuff, you have to have your own bow. So we went and bought her a bow. And since then, we've bought her like different arrows and things like that. If she chooses to do the center shot or the other one I was talking about with the 30 targets, she has to have more of her own arrows because the way it is now, because she participates with the school like the team provides the arrows, but if she starts doing competitions on her own, she has to supply her own arrows. So you have to have enough in case something goes wrong, like a fletching breaks or something like that. So you have to have like 10 of each color, and you have to have like light and dark arrows because they want you to have like opposite of what your partner has. So if your partner has light colored arrows like green or silver, they want you to have darker arrows like black or like the teal ones, or there's like a dark purple, just so it's easier to differentiate between whose arrows are whose. Like if you're both shooting with silver arrows, like how do you know who hit where? So we need to get her some more arrows, because she had made like she wanted to do those other ones. And my plan was to buy them over the summer, but then the place where we normally buy her archery stuff kind of like, oh, archery season's over, and they put all that kind of stuff away. Like they didn't have it on the floor during the store, in the store. So once archery starts back up, I'll go back out and grab some. The neighbor, oh, dang it, that hurt. The neighbor kid here to our, like if you're looking at our house, he's to the left side. Um, he does, I think he does travel baseball, which is pretty big here in the South, right along with football. But I think travel baseball is just kind of big everywhere in the States. I don't know that it's so big in other places. Welcome in, Tiresome Fox. Thank you for the lurky lurks. I hope you've been doing well. Um, and Fantasy was messing with something in the backyard. I think we were set measuring out to put her things in the ground so she would know where she needs to stand. Um, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, kids in sports." And we're like, "Yeah, but the difference is you never find her arrows in your yard. We find baseballs in our yard like all day long." Sometimes, like, I'm just waiting for the day the neighbor kid is out practicing and we wind up with a baseball through a car window or something. Although their dog did stop jumping over the fence once she stood out there and started to practice. Our neighbors have this giant white poodle, and they are never concerned about keeping it in their yard. Alex, what did you do? You're not allowed to get sick again. Ooh, look at this butterfly. I can get my hand to hold it, right? But yeah, they're never concerned about keeping their dog in their yard, and she was out practicing one day, and the dog charged and jumped the fence, and she just turned around and knocked her arrow. I mean, keep in mind, they're not sharp arrows, they're practice arrows. But it's still gonna hurt if she lets loose at the dog. Um, and that lady could not get her dog back fast enough. And then for a while, the dog stopped jumping over our fence. I do not advocate animal cruelty, but also, if you have a pet, it's your job to keep it in your yard. Did you drink some tea, Alex? Or do you have honey? You can just literally, like Mary Poppins, a spoonful of honey helps the medicine go down. Sorry, I will turn this and get it at the right angle yet. I feel like no, I must have had it right. I think I've got tonsillitis. Saw the pharmacist earlier, got some numbing spray for it. But yeah, eating hurts. Yep. You can also try if you have honey, like just put some honey on a spoon and just eat the honey. It helps. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it does help. And I find that the honey lozenges help better than some other ones, most others. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to instantly cure it, but it does help. Now we got fall leaves going on. Sorry, in the instructions, these two colors look really similar, despite them not really looking all that similar in real life. In the instructions, they look real similar. But yeah, so she had Club Rush last week, so hopefully we'll get back more into a routine. Thank you, Yellow Witch. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for popping in. That does suck, Alex. Do you take any like elderberry or anything like that, like to help build up your immune system? Ooh, you caught it, Alex. Is there supposed to be a brick there? Okay, no. I thought for a minute I missed a brick, but no, it's just supposed to just hang out there. Okay, we'll move them to up here so we don't lose them. I just take vitamins, don't take anything else. May have to look into elderberry. Didn't know it was actually good for you. Yeah, it's supposed to be one of those things that helps build up your immune system. And then I think also if you still get sick, it's supposed to like lessen the effects a little bit. Don't quote me on the second part, but I know it's supposed to help you like I don't want to say help you not get sick, but like help build up your like help your immune system, like an immune booster. There's what the word I was looking for or phrase. Um, the kids just take like an elderberry gummy. Um, well, the kids and crazy because he leaves the house so much. Like goes to the conferences and whatnot, or flies places, and the outside world is Jeremy. Um, but yeah, it's just like I think they have like capsules you can take. They have yeah, they taste just like elderberry. They have gummies. They have like a syrup. But I don't want to deal with two kids measuring out syrup, so I just buy them the gummies. They just dump one out and take it. But yeah, they have elderberry gummies, syrup, whatever. But it's supposed to like help with that. Everything is like to a degree, but yeah, it's elderberry gummies or syrup or whatever you choose to get, whatever version. Sold when all you had to do was say they tasted like elderberry. Uh yeah, like that emergency stuff, you can take more vitamin C too. It's supposed to help your like make it less of a chance that you'll get sick, like extra vitamin C. So even if you just drink orange juice, you don't have to like take a pill, but or a vitamin, whatever you want to call it. Have you tried the sunflower butter? Alex, did you find it at the store? Oh, there's not a good place to grip. I know you were really wanting like peanut butter, but not peanut butter. I think it's the last week being all go. It can be that too, like if you don't get enough rest, it's hard for like your body to keep up. Turn. There we go. We got another squirrel. Mm-hmm. Another squirrel friend. Okay, we need our butterfly. This and a purple flower. We want the flower on the bent leafy thing. If I can grab it. Apparently, I should have been worried about holding the flower, not the thing. Our butterfly. I'm gonna order it. It's on the deal where if you buy four things on the deal, you get 5% of all the items. Oh yes, that's fantastic, Alex. Always take the deal. Well, we got a froggy in our pond, and then some crystally things. Right? Like that makes sense because it's not anything that you need like right this minute. It makes sense to wait. Okay. We have an acorn. It's a it's a little flat jumper with an acorn on it. There should just go get that and 3 packs of Twizzlers is there though. Fair. I feel you. Fair. Oh, yes. I was trying to get that barrel twisted so that it was already in the right spot so I didn't have to like dig around in the corner trying to get it rotated to the right spot. We're gonna put our little squirrel friend, of course, with the acorn. Okay, apparently hands no worky. There we go. I'm only not because I absolutely love the cherry ones and they will be gone. Not good with the self control? Welcome to the club. Ooh, we're making a little flower thing. Grouping, flower grouping. I should have put the short petal on first, but I didn't. That looks roughly the same. Okay. Part of me is like, we can do one more bag of this before we start to change to cross stitch. And the other part of me is like, no, we've done like 9 bags today. Because there's like nothing in these bags. Like, as long as they're not in front of you, like, you could forget that you have them. But, like, as soon as you see them, then you're like, no, I gotta eat all of these now. Let me. I gave Fantasy a bunch of, like, the other yarn I had because I wasn't using it. Let me go see if she has some yarn and we can test out our theory about the tiny eyeball. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry. I had to figure out where she put the yarn I gave her, but I found it. So, let's try with the thinner yarn and see if we can make that work. This is the 4. We'll try a 4. Maybe this was not the best one to grab for that part, but I just grabbed colors. Okay, I'm trying not to make a knot. Come on, let go. There we go. Okay, let's see. 7, 8. I maybe should have left my tension out a bit, but we'll see. We'll get it to work. Okay, pull that tighter. Okay, so one. Oh no, I messed up already. Because my brain is like, okay, let's just keep going. We're on a roll. But no, brain, no. We have to do things in a certain order. There we go. And then we do the connectee, but then we switch. Like I said, maybe I shouldn't have chose this pink, but I was just grabbing stuff. Because this pink feels like part of a, I don't know. Like it's not right, but whatever. This is just a testy. My hook slid back without the yarn. Yeah, it won't be perfect, but also we don't have to leave it. I can undo it, you know. We're just testing. Okay, that feels like I didn't go to the next hole. Because I didn't. I thought I went to the next hole, but now we're in the next hole. Carrot commented in my underneath the one thing I posted of the what I was doing. He was like, "You have been given too much power with this crocheting. The power to make pie ceratopsis." I was not counting either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm good. The power to make creatures. It's dangerous. Make creatures and creepy eyeballs. Oh, my thread is all stuck. And things want to go like super wide. Come back here. Like I said, I'm not striving for perfection with this one. I am just trying to get a feel for what size it would be. Like, should I go smaller, like a 3.5? Because this is a 4. I mean, you can only go so small before you're like, okay, like it's too hard to get like the yarn is like too big for the hook, things like that. Again, did that happen? No, okay, I did go to the next one. Pay no attention to the crazy lady with the hook. So I'm gonna do, where am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just gonna compare like the irises, and that'll let us know like kind of objectively like how big it should be. Stay and see this, like the stuff coming apart is why I choose to use the bigger yarn, because then I don't have to deal with this. Like there's not the stuff. I know what I'm saying. Come on. Keep in mind it'll be a little bit different because this pink was very thin. But so the iris on this one is like that big. So like maybe the size of a quarter, which I know isn't good reference for Alex because she's British and doesn't have quarters. But this is the black, the color in this row. So golf ball size completed, it would be golf ball size, and then the little tiny tentacles, it would work, Alex. It would work. Right? He could have it all the time. Well, I was like, I'm not striving for perfection, like I just want to see if it'll be the size I was thinking. But I totally could do that. So I don't lose my. Yeah. I was like, I think it would come out about golf ball sized if you roughly know how big that is. Like ping pong, golf ball, somewhere in there. Put my. I know I said quarter and then I thought about it and I was like, Alex doesn't know what size a quarter is. She doesn't have quarters in her pocket all the time. Like, it's just not something she has. I'm gonna move these off to the side and then I can give them back to put them back on her desk in a bit. But yeah, I realized it as soon as I said it. I was like, I don't mean, I shouldn't have said, oh, sorry, my seat cushion moved, my butt cushion. Rude. How rude. It gave you ads. Okay, I can close that one. Go to her. Let me open paint. The ads came at like just the right time. This is 721. Okay, half them circles. Sorry, I'm like, where did I have this? It is somewhere. Okay, I think we were in here. Yep. It sounds like the storm has. Welcome in, Crazy. Congrats on second. Sounds like it stopped storming for the moment. I would like it to just be done storming. Have fun. Have fun at the Walmart warehouse. The emergency Walmart warehouse thingy. Emergency supplies. There's the word. Words are hard. Did I do two in there? I did. Welcome back from ads. Oh, I forgot. That's what I wanted to do. Switch it to makers and crafters. It's makers and crafting, but I always want to say makers and crafters. I don't know why. Put that in there too. Did I get it all in there? Every once in a while, you miss a letter. And then it takes a whole different meaning. But this is where we stopped yesterday on the dragon. I just started these couple stitches here to get the new thing of threads started. I feel like it's become a little loose, but yeah, I think the storm has stopped for now, hopefully. just stopped in general, but I don't know. And I keep thinking there was something I mean to do while the ads are on, but then I can't remember what it is, so I don't know. Okay. Like I said, I got a cross stitch book that has Halloween themed cross stitches in it. I want to get some black Ada though to do them on because spooky. Come on. There we go. Um I don't know if I can pull it up or not. I do wish um I got it through Amazon so that I could do it on my Kindle tablet, but I do wish that I don't know, maybe it was just the way it made it look like in the web browser version. And maybe there's like a setting I need to change or something, but it made it so you had to like scroll down on the page to see everything. And so I think I was missing some stuff, but I was also just kind of quick flipping through it. But I did all the adulty things and paid some bills. I got fantasies. I ordered Fantasy's yearbook, which of course won't come to the end of the school year, but I ordered her yearbook for her and I paid the children's hospital some money and I ordered our cleaning supplies and I ordered some stuff from samsclub.com because they don't carry it in our local Sam's Club. So, I've done the adulty things today. Ooh, you got it, and some kind of stone. Skip 3. But like I said, I have that $15 voucher to Michael's that's going to expire like today it said. So I will have to run to Michael's later or get on the website and do it depending on the weather. Um so that'll help and I can use it to get some Ada cloth. I need to look at the patterns though and see what size Ada cloth it wants. I assume 14, but you know what they say about assuming. I don't know why it keeps wanting to get stuck right there. Let's see if I can find my mouse. Not that way. Do I still have? Oh, I do have it here though. That'll work. I'll go back to this while it's thinking about opening. Thank you, Insane Ninja Boy. Welcome in. Um, it's for part of a stitch along I'm in or participating in. Is the first time. His name's Carrot Cleric here on Twitch. He wanted to do. He started a channel in his Discord called like Craft Along, and he wasn't completely sure like how he wanted to do it, but there were like some people who had saw him cross stitching and said they'd like to try, and so like as a community we kind of voted, like posted links to small free projects, and then everybody voted, and this is the one we agreed on. Some people changed the thread colors, some people left it like that. I left it as is. um it's thinking. Go away while you think. But this is the one that was decided on, and I've been trying to only do it in stream. That way people could ask questions, things like that. So I've been doing this since like the very beginning of August, and I've only got this much done. But it is a very cute little design. Do you cross stitch? What size? I suck at large. Oh, I think in larger projects it's easier to get lost, like in the pattern, and like miscount things like that, like things not line up. I think in larger projects that's easier to happen. I mean, I did it in this small pattern. I wound up having to do like a bunch of this black thread and then redo it because I was off by just like one or something like that. Um, but I have been doing cross stitching on and off for like the last 20-ish years. I am by no means an expert, but I do tend to do big ones. But Carrot is putting together another thing for October, except this time instead of it being just cross stitching where everybody's doing like the same pattern with like minor changes, cuz like I picked a fabric that has like tinsely type stuff woven through it, so it like sparkles a little bit, shimmery sparkles. You can kind of see it on camera but not a ton. um and some people change the thread colors, things like that. But this, he wants to do more of a craft along, so like fall Halloween centered. But like if you want to crochet, if you want to cross stitch, if you want to knit, if you want to diamond art, whatever craft does it for you, um partake in. The only I think there's going to be a vote if people want it like to do like only skeletons or whatever, like the theme more. But I've been doing it on and off for about 20 years, which seems like an awful long time. I have found that if the patterns are digital, I do like the print screen or whatever and put it in paint, and then I can enlarge it and do whatever, and then mark it off using like the markers and whatnot in paint. And that was actually Carrot was doing it that way. And I was like, that's an ingenious idea. Also, I mean, even if you have like paper ones, like through a magazine or whatever, you could scan it in with like your printer. I was using PDF Reader too, but I couldn't really mark anything off. And that's when he said he was using paint, and I was like, "Oh man, that's so much better." Let me see if I can show you. Um, Let me. Sorry, there's one game I play that's got to be like this. Nope, that's not it. There we go. So I put it here like in paint, and then I just choose a color and a paintbrush and change the size and just click, drag, mark it off as I go. I was full ADHD into this in 2020 after a small mental breakdown. I need to make time again. I miss the product at the end that I don't get in my normal endeavors. It is definitely uh cross stitch is definitely a trust the process. You're like work on it for 3 hours and be like, I feel like I didn't get anything done. But then like the last couple colors and you're like, oh, I see it. It's there now. You know? But yeah, I was using I scanned a magazine because the little squares were like so tiny. I was like, it's gonna drive me insane. So I used my scanner, printer, copier. They all come 3 in 1 now, and I scanned it into the computer, and then I opened it in Paint and like made it bigger because you can resize things in Paint, and or even just zoom in with the plus minus at the bottom of Paint, and then you can see it clearer, you can mark it off. I think if you have a digital, or even like I said, if you scan it in, it's a very good option. I know some people do like co-streams, or not even like necessarily a co-stream in the sense that you're both on stream. They'll put like a certain scene up with like we're working on this or that, and it's more like a motivational stream where like everybody like puts these little like checklists onto the screen, and they'll be like pay bills, wash dishes, fold laundry, work on this craft, whatever. And so you're not really seeing them do the things. You're just like a way to like, what do they call that? Like the like you need a body in the room. Body doubling, I think is what they call it. Like you're in some way accountable to somebody else just to get things done, which isn't necessarily like a bad thing. Like I think I would enjoy some kind of stream like that, like where maybe like four people get together and you're like, okay, I'm not actually like streaming, but I'm streaming. I forget. There's somebody who does it, and I forget who it is. And it's just like a special screen they put up, and everybody puts up a checklist, and like you're streaming together, but you're not. I've been working on a Final Fantasy challenge lately. Work is all research and management things, so going back to physical hobbies sounds nice in my head, right? Like, and I think cross stitch is nice because it's not something you have to think a ton about. Like, it doesn't take a ton of brain power, but at the same time, like it's like a simple focus task, I guess I'd call it. Where's the hole? Except when you're like this and you're like, I can't find the hole. Um, but yes, I find it relaxing. That and diamond dots. If you've never tried like diamond painting, every kit I've ever bought has always come with everything you need to do it. Um, and you can find pretty cheap ones on Amazon. Sometimes the pictures aren't great, like when you're finished, but you can find some nice, cheaper ones on Amazon or, things, places like that. And they're like a simple focus task. So, like, you're not feeling like you're using too much, like, focus energy to do it, but at the same time, it's like something to do. And it's kind of the same concept. You're like using the pen with a little bit of wax on the end to like dip into the right color thing and put it like this, and you just kind of do this 5 million times. Same motion, just no stabby up and down. Michaels and Hobby Lobby sell kits too, and then if you get a coupon or they're on sale, there's that. I haven't done any like crazy large ones in a while, but I do tend to do bigger. This is a 6-inch hoop, and the whole design fits in it, so that gives you kind of like a rough idea about the size. But thank you so much for popping in and taking a chance on a new stream, new to you stream. I hope you enjoy the kind of cozy, not much, nothing crazy. So I've been making crochet eyeballs. Sorry, they're on my arm. They're eyeball jellyfish. I've made a cookie bee and a milk bee. Um, a friend of mine crochets, and she turned me on to this lady who does like they're like punny type, like pun related type crochet amigurumi. So it's like a cook bee, a milk bee, peanut butter and jelly bee, a pie ceratops, a cakealosaurus, a hot dog pug. So it looks like a pug in a hot dog bun. A cakealosaurus is a cake that looks like a dinosaur, like a cake, an ankylosaurus, but cake. A triceratops, but it's a pie in the middle. um, I also did. It was a s'moreosaurus, so it's a brontosaurus, but like the body is a s'more. So it has a regular head and legs and a tail, but the body portion of it is a s'more. And I'm obsessed. And now I need all the patterns. I needed a new hobby. Like I needed another hole in my head, but a new hobby I have. I am immensely enjoying making them. I don't know what I'm going to do with all of them, but the kids have also been like stealing them. So we also made a pretzel snake, trying to find a hobby that will stick, but I keep going back to the knowledge based ones. I don't think any hobby sticks like for a long time. I find that I hop from one craft to another. So I'll get like hyper focused on this crochet thing, and that'll go for a while, and then I'll stop doing that, and then I'll go back to a hobby I've done in the past, like a craft I've done in the past, or I'll find a new one, and I just kind of bounce around. Like right before COVID and during COVID, I got really obsessed with the diamond art, and I have tons of them just like rolled up in a box somewhere because there's literally not enough wall space to hang every one I've done. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. My issue is I do the hobby, then I overplan the hobby, and before you know it, I'm designing automations and systems around the hobby, but not doing the hobby. So you do all the hobby related side quests without ever doing the hobby. I have spreadsheets and automation for cross stitch. Honestly, I have been so tempted to make an Excel spreadsheet with all the like possible threads there are, like color numbers there are to have, and then like a second column with X's next to the ones I have. Or even just a spreadsheet with the list of the colors I have, for reference. And then I can always just add in cells when I get threads I don't have. That's the nerdy part where you're like, yes, I need to make an Excel spreadsheet. That's how I know my nerd has carried into the hobby. So I perfectly understand that. And how am I going to organize my craft, my new craft? That's always a big one. Like I got all obsessed with buying things to organize it, or like repurposing things I have in the house that I don't necessarily use. Like there's something in the bin, but that's only so that I can say I've used the bin. Like it totally doesn't have to be in there. So then I repurpose that bin to whatever new craft I've gone to. And in no way am I saying like it's bad to be nerdy, because I am super nerdy. So I have a bot that will read the thread numbers and add them to. Ooh, I like that. That is amazing. I love it. I am here for stuff like that. That is fantastic. You could sell that. You could make an app and sell that app. People would people would buy that. That could be a hobby. Making apps for hobbies could be your hobby. Right? Like, I'm telling you, that is amazing. I totally feel like that could be a hobby. Your hobby could be making stuff for other people's hobby, like apps and organization helpers and things like that. That is amazing. Do you stream as well, Insane, or a viewer? And it's okay if you don't stream. I just try to make sure that I give fellow streamers a shout out, and then I attempt to pretend I remember who streams and who doesn't. Right? That is a fantastic organizational thing. Because I just write the numbers down 10 times for the, I like write down the numbers on a sticky note, and then I go through all my my colors, putting ones from the previous project away and getting out the new ones, which is why a spreadsheet would be so much easier. Um, there we go. I was like, what are we doing here? Um, and then I cross them out as I go, and then I write them down again so that I can clearly see which ones they are versus just, it's a mess is what I'm saying. I have dabbled in streaming. I found that the feeling of being on camera was a bit much, but I have a channel and a goal that I might have to push to next year for Thanksgiving dinner inspired by the imagination dinner in the movie Hook. Oh. Have you tried doing it like a VTuber where you have like the little icon, but it's not actually like you on screen? Like, so they would just see like your hands or what you were doing down here versus seeing your face. There's a lot of people who do that. And in no way am I like you should stream all the time like pressure. I just didn't know if that was maybe something you considered. And I know that may not change that feeling for some people, like that pressure anxiety feeling. Set on a console play. I know Steam has a free, I'm gonna say game because that's what Steam is, games, programs, whatever. Stream or Steam, not stream. Um called, let me look it up real quick. It's like VTube Studios or something like that. I downloaded it as like I was trying to decide if I wanted to do that or not. There it is. Store page. Um, there we go. This is a. I know there's several people who use this program to do it. It's called VTube Studio. Yeah, that's shady. Uh, you have just almost banned poor insane trying to follow. Careful, Alex. I mean, they're easy enough to unban somebody, but still. Um, I believe there's several people who use that and enjoy it. Like the way the program works. Um, I just about lost where I was in my pattern. Right, that's it. It's free, but is it really? Um, but yes, I believe there's several people who use that. Um, I've never done the VTubing thing myself, so I'm not sure beyond. I just kind of downloaded it, and then that was about it because I just am always have the face cam. Um, but I really should look into it for like a backup when maybe I'm not feeling my best and I don't want you guys to see what I look like that day. They are in the same place on mobile. If you're a mod, it's the ban button. If you're a viewer, it's the follow button. Oh, I see what you're saying. I got rid of the mobile app on my phone, so I have no idea where like anything is on that. Because I just didn't use it very often. Thank you for the follow. I'm going to follow back right now so I don't forget. Because I always just follow people back when they follow me, even if they don't stream. Like, I think you're allowed to follow 5,000 pages or something like that. It'll be a while before I have to worry about, like, unfollowing people who don't stream. Being on stream is a weird kind of like concept, like always being in front of the camera. Yeah, I know you do, Alex. I didn't really use it, so I figured one less app on my phone. I'm going to camera, but they can see me and I can't see them is where I start. Ah, I understand that. I always joke that it's weird because I, in general, am not like necessarily the most peoply of persons. Um, and that's why I don't leave my house much because they're ill. There's people out there. Um, or I'm the same person who wants to go to a place, but I don't want anybody there to talk to me. I host Zoom and other VoIP calls as a job. okay, like a remote work type deal. Um, but I don't have as much problem on with like being on. How do I want to say this? I keep stopping in the middle of my sentence. I don't have as much problem being like the streamer, and I think that's something to do with like control. Like if somebody is being inappropriate or rude, or I just don't want to deal with them, block. It's a lot easier than people in real life. And maybe that is why for me, it's better than like face to face. Like, oh, my social battery's done. I'm just gonna get off. Bye. Or go into lurk mode. I literally open uh I literally open on the laptop once a month to use my Prime sub, and for about 5 minutes after I stop streaming, I'll sit in whoever I rated into stream on PC before switching to mobile. That's understandable. Yeah, when I if I was on a laptop, I probably wouldn't just like hang about. I'd probably switch to mobile too. But I do mine at my desk. Like I have the big PC down on the floor and two monitors and like a whole setup. Like it's ridiculous in here. Um and the big old computer chair. So I just sit here and like even when I'm not necessarily watching somebody on stream, I have like a pattern up for some kind of craft, or I'm looking at stuff, or I have a TV show going on one monitor. Before, when I first started streaming, and even before I started streaming, I would just open it on a tab on my laptop and have it in a tab and be doing other things still. Okay, yeah, that's right. I do have a Discord. If you type it, oh, yep, exclamation Discord. I have a gaming laptop. Um, I joke that it's a beast. That's true, Alex, and it's all what works for you. Um, I have one of those giant footrests underneath my desk, so like my legs don't hang because I would not be able to sit in my chair very long if my legs hung, because that would like irritate the crap out of the issues I have with my legs. So Crazy got me this giant like bubble footrest thing. And so my feet are something like 6 inches like elevated. Like I rest my, the put my feet flat down on it, or yes, only fans. Okay, my husband's friend, and he's like subsequently my friend, kept joking that I should have an OnlyFans. And I was like, listen, I am a pudgy mother of three. Nobody wants to see that. And I was like, yes, I have huge tracts of land, but no, nobody wants to see it. So he kept teasing me that I should have an OnlyFans. And I was like, think of all the Legos and craft supplies I could buy if I just sold boob pics. It has been an ongoing joke about OnlyFans, which I don't have a problem with OnlyFans or like any kind of stuff like that without getting too political, because I know that is a hot button topic for a lot of people. To me, You cannot get mad at all the women who do those types of things, whether you're an exotic dancer or a stripper, or you have an OnlyFans site, or even here on Twitch, some of the more pushing the limits of maybe what the terms of service means. All those people, when without men willing to buy it, there would be no business. To me, it is unfair that a lot of women get the flack for doing those things when, if it weren't for the men buying those things or putting money towards those things, they would not exist. There'd be no, you know what I mean? Like, there wouldn't be anything for them to sell if there wasn't somebody to buy it. So I do not have a problem. Listen, if I needed to pay the bills, I would find a way to make what I got work. Like I said, I know it is a hot button topic with some people, but I don't I don't do it because I was like, oh, that's a little putting myself out there, and then what if nobody wants it? I do joke. So we have a tuxedo cat, and her name is Noodle, like spaghetti noodle. And I do joke that we should make an OnlyFans for her because we call her Nudes, and that we could put it only nude, or called like, just call it Nudes. And when they got past the paywall, it's just pics of a tuxedo cat. I make that joke a lot. Okay, that was 721. 742. There we go. Yeah. Unfortunately, the first message in there is OnlyFans. There's a book stuff tab and like a show off random chat, all that kind of stuff in there too. But yeah, that is, it is a weird thing to have as a first come in. I'm gonna kill Army. I guess it's a good icebreaker. But I do not have an OnlyFans. I think I would need somebody who's exceptional at like editing, if I did have one, just to help me like crop out other things. Okay, so we finished that orange, and this is like a yellowy orange. Ooh, okay. Let me find the right button. Home Labs. What's that? And I may know what you mean, but maybe not in that way. Um, ooh, fancy, fancy. Yeah, I only have two monitors set up, kind of like your bottom two, on like a pole that holds two monitors, and then I have a camera arm this way. This way, I can like move this camera that's pointing down to whatever angle and height I need. Ah, okay. And then I have a camera that's like clipped to the top of my monitor for me. And they each have a ring light around the camera. So I don't have like a separate ring light. I have thought about, I was like, a third monitor. And I was like, no, you don't need a third monitor. Stop doing that to yourself. Wow, seven monitors. That's a lot. I have thought about getting like a second arm and like attaching it back here to the shelves in some way. Maybe not like directly that spot, but to the shelves. That way I could have it like come over and like always be pointed kind of top down, or like attach it to a different spot on my desk and always have like, so it'd be like a third camera. Like one would always be pointed down and the other I would move freely, and that way I could have like more than one angle. Um and I've even thought about getting rid of maybe the face cam and making so still only two, but make one always pointed like down on what I'm doing and the other one like angled, so I would have like more than one angle of what I was doing. But I honestly don't know. I say that all the time. I have no idea what I'm doing. Kids ruin everything fun. I always joke that. Like, I love my children, but like, realistically, how much more money would I have if I didn't have children? But also, I always joke that we're very near the end. They're both in high school now, so they are both almost adults, and the oldest is 23, so he is he is out flourishing as much as a 23-year-old can flourish on his own. I have a 23, 17, no, 16. Sorry. I'm like, I don't know. What is it? She'll be 17 in January. And the other one will be 15 middle of next month. So I'm very close. So close. Like, I know you're not done being a parent once they turn 18, but I feel like, you know, you're not as financially responsible to some degree. And you don't have to take them everywhere you go. You'd be like, no, you two are staying home. Just mom and dad are going on this vacation. A smidgen more freedom. I have she's in 11th grade and he is a freshman this year. So there's a lot of talk of what would you like to go to college for? Do you know what you want to do with the rest of your life? Like, I don't expect them to have the answer, like, yes, I want to be this, that, or the other. But, like, do you have a general direction that you'd like to go forth in? Yes, that is the hard part. Like, mom doesn't want to cook, but we won't don't want to take everyone to dinner. So PB&J it is for dinner. Did you know if you wait long enough, they will eat cereal for dinner? So, you know, in the current climates, there's always talk about like why a lot of people are choosing not to have kids and things like that. And there's one comedian who jokes. She goes, "Do you know why women don't want to have kids now? Because you got to have them with you all the time." She goes, "No more sending your kid out and telling them come back when the street lights come on. Now you're expected to know where they are all the time." Both of my older kids want to be streamers, YouTubers, but the oldest is starting to get into animation and music production. That's cool. Yeah, the youngest was like, when I turn 13, I can have a Twitch account. And I was like, really? Who told you that? And he was like, it says it on Twitch in their terms of service. And I was like, yeah, but just because Twitch says you can doesn't mean I said you can. And so it became like a serious discussion. Like, if you're going to do this, you will not show your face. Like, there will be rules and guidelines beyond what Twitch says. Like, just because Twitch says a 13-year-old can have a streaming account does not mean I, as your parent, say you can have one. Like, it's more than just getting on and streaming. There's like, how do you deal with people who say inappropriate things? Like, you know, like there's more to it. And so he'll be 15 next month, and he still does not have a Twitch account. At least not one in which he streams from. We're gonna have ads in roughly 30 seconds. They will go for 3 minutes, and then we will be good for another hour. Times it. They will be our last set of ads for the stream. Um, we do them this way because they get rid of like the pre rolls. So if you have Turbo, you don't get ads because that's, I think, the whole point. If you are subscribed, you also don't get ads, and that is not a ploy to get you to sub. It is more informational, like, hey, if you sub, this is a bonus. But yes, we will go to ads shortly. I when I do Lego, I don't build during the ad break, but pretty much everything else, I just kind of keep going. You generally don't miss anything though, because I'm not very fast. So, but we are at like the end of a thread. So I will tie that off and start a new one. But feel free to use the ad breaks to do bio breaks, get food, get drink, take a phone call, stretch your legs, whatever you need to do. No, you silly Kenneget thread. What are you trying to do? Okay, apparently come all undone is what we're doing. I don't know. That looks good. Okay, we finished. Up into here. Let's see. I guess we'll start down here in the chest. I know there was something I thought about after I started the stream. I was like, oh, I'll do it in an ad break. And now I cannot remember for the life of me what that thing was. So I guess it wasn't uber important. And I know I'm probably not in frame, but also most of you are in break, so I'm not as worried about it. No, wrong hole. Here we go. Let's see. Back from ads! Woohoo! Okay. Why does this not want to work? Nope. It's thinking about working now. No. Okay, there we go. I got today a cross stitch book, but it was all like spooky. Nothing like crazy scary. And actually most of them are pretty cute. Um but I was trying to bring up, I have like the Kindle app for the desktop. I was trying to get it to come up in there to give you guys like a, see if it showed better, because I did it in the browser, but it like opened weird. I know that doesn't necessarily make sense, but so I was trying to see if I opened it up in the app, like the Kindle app for Windows, whatever, if it would open better, and then I could show you the patterns that were in the book. But it doesn't want to open. I love the spooky season stuff. So I've been making the eyeballs, and today We brainstormed about switching to like a lighter weight yarn and a smaller hook. If we could make like keychain sized eyeball jellyfish things, and from our non perfect, attempt, we realized we could, and they'd be roughly golf ball sized. So I could put like a keychain on top. But yes, I was looking for like spooky esque type cross stitches to do for like next month into October. Um, and they were really cute in that one. They even had ones that were like how uh how did they it was basically like Halloween mixed with Easter, but they had it like written a certain way. And now I can't remember how they had it written. And there was like spooky Christmas. It was like a gingerbread house, but the gingerbread men were like skeleton gingerbread men, which means I could stretch it all the way into Christmas, like Nightmare Before Christmas. Well, I argue it's good any time of the year. It is especially good anywhere from Halloween or anywhere from October through January because it is both a Christmas and a Halloween movie. Also, the running theme in here is if you want to be convinced you shouldn't do something, don't come here. We're all enablers. We will find whatever you're looking for on sale and send you the link. Like we're not the people you come to help you not spend money. I think I bumped the camera a little bit. Should I buy this? Yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't ask things like that. We'll find something for you and it'll always be on sale, so then you can't even argue about it cuz we found it on deal for you. Yeah. We are enablers in here. We are not the people you come to for any kind of sound advice when it comes to like should I buy this or not? Like, man, I've been thinking about getting this, but I should really like save my money or I have bills to pay. Don't worry, I'll find it on sale for you. I asked the wifey, she said no already. I'm afraid she probably has final say, so she says no. I can't help you. That's what my husband wants is to live basically in the middle of nowhere with a couple acres of land and then there be, you know, no people. The house we live in now, we've only lived in for 2 years, but it's our first house we've ever bought. Um, and we bought it knowing that it would not be our forever home, most likely. And we bought it because it is super close to all the schools near the area. So we just moved to a 55-acre area ourselves. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Yeah, we moved pretty much dead center to where the schools are. There's like an elementary school one street back that way, and the high school essentially is at the end of the block. And then on the other side of the high school is like the junior high and the freshman academy and stuff. But we did it on purpose. That way the kids would be like super close to the school. And having lived in military housing for the last 20 years, I can live anywhere for a couple years. But the plan is, pay off some debt, fix up some of the things in this house, and then hopefully reselling it won't be too hard because again of where it's located, right near all the schools. So, okay, mark another row off. One and then skip one. Plus, when we were looking to buy, a lot of houses in the area we live were going like super fast. So like by the time we would email the realtor like four or five links on Zillow, half of them would already be under contract. We were in a small 1,200 square foot guest house on the property. That was my thought. I can live anywhere. I lived in Afghanistan for about 18 months, but the wife and the kids were so happy to be out of that situation. Yeah, this house is on the smaller side because it was built in like 75, 78, something like that. But they've built onto it, like they enclosed one of the carports and made it a den. And then they built a sunroom onto the back of the house, so it is bigger than the original floor plan, but the bedrooms are really small. So, the plan is to live here while they were, because when we moved here, she was just starting high school, and I was like, once they start high school, we're not moving. Like you can move, but I'm not. Um so we said we'll live here for a while they're in high school, and then determine after that how much longer, based financially, like on how much we can afford to like fix stuff up and things like that. Um, which, we've kind of fixed stuff already, some intentional, some not so intentional. Um, Last year, a tree fell on the house, so the whole roof is brand new. Um, and just before summer hit, our HVAC died, so that's new. We really want to redo the kitchen and the second bath, but you know, yeah, it's definitely one way. Well, we live in Arkansas, so the heat here is not nice either. Heat and humidity here. We have like, you have your homeowner's insurance, but then you have like that secondary insurance for like other things. So we filed the claim with that secondary insurance company about our HVAC, and they came out and checked it out, and they're like, your HVAC is actually too small for your house. And we're like, huh? And they're like, yeah, that's probably why it works so hard. Like, does it never seem to turn off? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, your house is pretty well insulated and things like that. And he's like, it's your HVAC is too small for your house. And so so we had to upgrade. He's like, you can technically like they will pay to have the same level of HVAC put back in the house. Like it's covered. He's like, but you're just gonna keep running into the same things. Like it's gonna wear out because it's always running. But also our HVAC was from like 1980, so I mean, it lasted a long time. Uh, but we opted to have them put in the bigger one, save a little, energy. So the way it worked was like the warranty people, like we sent them the invoice thingy that the HVAC people gave us, and of course the HVAC people talked to them too because that's who the warranty company sent out. And so they paid us what they would have paid the HVAC people essentially, and then we used that towards helping pay for the new HVAC, but it was still crazy expensive. So our plan has been to pay down like, we're making payments on everything. We're not like letting things lapse, but like then we like pay more on the stuff that only has a little bit left on it, so that way then we can take that money and move it to something else and like pay down, pay down, pay down, pay down. And then we can start fixing stuff. Then we can get right back into debt, semi trying to fix up the house to sell it. Yeah. Yeah, the debt snowball. So like pay more on the things that have a lower balance on them so you can move all that money to something that has a higher balance. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're attempting to do. I say attempting because the best laid plans. Just because that's what you plan to do and are trying to do doesn't always mean that other things won't happen that kind of derail that a little bit. Like when the tree fell on the roof, we had to, of course, pay the copay. And then when the HVAC went out, we had to pay onto that. But, you know, that is what we're attempting to do. For the most part, it works. But like I said, there are always going to be unexpected pop ups that you can't control. Yeah, like, just because that's what you plan doesn't mean things won't happen. So I always say that's what we're attempting to do because that's it. We're attempting. And like once my husband retired, he got a job making more than he made in the military as like a yearly income type deal. Plus when you add in like VA benefits and like uh military retirement, the three combined we have a higher income. And then March, end of April, beginning of May, something like that. A guy he had met and networked with, and he actually went to school with him when he was in high school. Like they reconnected through the job. Was like, hey, My job is hiring, and it's basically the same thing he was doing, like at his old job. And he was like, but this is the deal and whatnot. And he's like, I don't know if I want to switch jobs. And I was like, well, what's the harm? Fill out the application, see what they're offering. You know, it never hurts to see what else is out there. Like, it's not like you have to quit your job to even apply to this new one, right? Like, if you apply and you get called for an interview and you don't like what they have to say, no harm, no foul, you know? But he went to the interview and he was like, man, I love that job. And they turned out to give him a company car. So he only pays like $7 a week for gas. So 28 bucks a month towards the car versus back and forth gas in his truck. So, and then it was more money than he was making before. So that has helped a little bit. We have a little bit more money to pay, put towards things. Plus, it allows the kids to kind of get all those kind of extra things that happen in high school, You want to go to a school dance, you want to do an extracurricular, you want to do this, that, the other. All those things take more money. And it's what he got his degree in while he was in the military, an emergency planner. So uh like when hurricanes and earthquakes and tornadoes happen, the people who write like the plans of what the county or state level or whatever is supposed to do, he's the guy. That's what his job entails, is like writing and reviewing those kind of plans. And right now he works for RDOT, which is Arkansas Department of Transportation, and that's what his job is there. So like when something floods, um after the flooding has gone back, they go out and uh inspect bridges and things like that. Inspect like roadways, and then they help the county or whatever, with where they should, like what kind of government help they can get to rebuild and fix things. Okay. I was like, why do I feel like I'm at the wrong spot? Because I kind of am. I wanted to go this way. So, I feel like we're finally like making progress. I guess it's because like the gaps are closing. We are we have one that does regular public school, and then the other one does virtual school. And I'm learning the joys of teaching someone how to take notes. It's super fun. We kind of started it last year. So, like, I would talk about how when things were highlighted or like in bold text, it's a good idea to like write them down and take notes about them, like in math, write down equations, you know, in science, writes down equation because, you're at that part in science where you start adding in math for fun. Um, but this year it's like, more. And so that's been fun. Are you taking notes? Yes. Then I go out there and I'm like, hey, let's try to retake this quiz, you know. And he's like, I don't know what any of this is. I was like, how do you not know? I thought you did the lesson. I did. Did you take notes? No. I thought you told me you took notes. Well, I did, just not on this. See? This is why we talk about notes. Now you have nothing to reference. Yeah, so many notes. Like, now you're trying to do the quiz part, which is to verify that you learned, because it's not a test. It's just like a quiz at the end of the lesson to make sure you paid attention and learned the lesson. Sir, and now you have nothing to reference because you didn't take any notes. Sir. Sir. So today he was like, I took notes. I was like, did you? And he's like, yeah, look, I took notes. I took so many notes. It's almost a whole page of notes on just that one section. Yep, these are all important things. Like now when it comes time to study for like an actual test, you can. Or even like doing the assignments. Like so you read the assignment part, but now there's like questions to try, you know? Like to practice what you learned in math. Now you have something to go back and reference to when you see the math problem. You can be like, okay, that symbol means this, and that symbol means this, and like, isn't that much easier than going? Oh, I think it means this, sir. When they give you an example, like they tell you this means this, and you wrote that down and wrote the definition down, and then they give you example problems to show you how those things work in real time, write down the examples. And he's like, I did, and it was so much easier to do my work. Occasionally, I know things. Just on the rare occasion, because you're 14 and I'm 42, I might know things. Somebody is out there having a high-o time because I just keep hearing engines revving. Like, sir, did the whole road flood and you're trying to four-wheel float through that? Or are you just trying to speed down a tiny road to get nowhere? But if you are interested in getting back into crochet, if you go on Pinterest, there's like, and even if you want to try like different crochet things, I find Pinterest it can be hit or miss. Sometimes you'll click on something even though you typed in like free pattern and you'll get a pattern that isn't necessarily free or it seems like incomplete. But, overall it's pretty good. You can find free patterns and things like that, small ones to try. Okay, you're good. Hmm, about 20-ish more minutes before we get off. And I know watching me stab things over and over isn't necessarily exciting, but I hope you guys are enjoying what we're doing. Um I also talk about books. That's a slippery slope subject though, because it depends on what kind of books you want to talk about. I don't really read non-fiction books. Sorry, my brain was like fiction, fake, non-fiction, not fake. That's how I remember which one is which. Um, I don't read non-fiction books really. I mean, I think I've read one or two, but they're not like my overall jam. Um, and I tend to I read just about everything, but I do tend to pick darker, twisty things, like whether it's romance or thrillers or mysteries, kind of like the let's read about the serial killer. And I love true crime documentaries and the like. Please tell me what Dahmer said right before you offed him. Yay! Now the trick is, will he stay down? No, but we can all hope. Come on, Needle. I do have my Goodreads linked there underneath where you can put like your Facebook, your Instagram. I don't have either of those things related to my Twitch, but I do have my Goodreads linked and like my YouTube. I am trying to read more fiction. I read mostly self help and business strategy with some tech manuals sprinkled in. Probably gonna have to tell him he'll be fine while he's away again. um, I read a lot of fiction. Um, and usually the spicier side of fiction, but I do read everything. Um, and I do know reading is one of those things like you just have to find the type of book you like. There is no like, "Oh, you should read this or you're not really reading," or like if you can do audiobooks, more power to you. I cannot do audiobooks because at some point I start tuning them out. And then a half an hour later I realized, "Oh crap, I just missed everything that happened," cuz that's how my brain works. Um couple weekends ago, I went to a book signing, like, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours from our house. Um, there were like 65 plus authors there. So I got to chat with people and I got to get books, more books. And of course, the authors signed them and it was fantastic. It is probably the place where I am most sociable is at like a book signing. Oh, okay. No, yeah, I'm at the right spot. Duh. Oh no. One more layer. There we go. Um, but I love going to book signings. So if you want to talk books or you want to ask about what I've been reading, feel free to do so. But I do like to offer a fair warning that sometimes I read weird stuff like, you know, I fondly call it monster porn. You know, the kraken and the dragon and the gargoyle. But I read a lot of like Mafia and MC, and then I think what they call protector romance. But I also read things that are non-romance, like mysteries and thrillers and stuff. Um, I'm a big proponent of using libraries. And then there's like apps that you can link your library card to and borrow books that way. There's Libby and some other ones. You you make an account and then you attach your library card number and then you can borrow audiobooks or ebooks. So typically I stream Tuesday and Thursday, um 11 to 2:30 on Tuesday and 12 to 4 on Thursdays. And then on Sundays, I stream 12 to 5 Central Time because I always forget to say what zip code or area, whatever time zone. There's the one. What time zone I'm in. But I do video games on Sundays. So things like Supermarket Together and Satisfactory, Hogwarts Legacy, uh, Disney Dreamlight Valley. I like puzzle games. I'm not so much for the shoot 'em up because I'm bad at those games, but like puzzle and strategy games, things like that. And not this Saturday, like 2 days from now, but the 6th is my 2 year stream anniversary. So the plan is to start at like 8 o'clock in the morning and stream to like 4. But also there will be ways people can add time to the stream till it's up to 24 hours. So like subs and biddies and stuff will add up to more time on add more time to the stream. I'm also going to allow unbuilding for bits as I build Lego. And there'll be some co-streaming with other people, other friends. I am gonna redo the Wheel of Chaos for just in cases. So like we get tired of doing something or we don't know what else to do to fill the time, we can spin the wheel and do whatever it says. We'll have it for backup. Did I move my camera, move my hand, something? I stopped paying attention to something because you were seeing all kinds of weird angle. But as I said, whatever isn't done on this, I will do off stream and then just show you guys the finished thing and put a picture in Discord of the finished thing. I was only doing it on stream this month, but I don't want to let it linger too long. And Sunday is the end of the month, so. And realistically, there isn't a ton left to do, but with cross stitching, a little bit can take a while. So. I've been getting off earlier the last couple weeks, so I'll have to double check who's on at this time. Um, yes and no. Realistically, I'm almost done because after this color, sorry, I gotta find my mouse. After this color, there's only two other colors left. It's like this part and into the body. So this color, like yellowish orange, goes up in here a little bit, and then a little bit of the detailing, and then the rest is just those two other colors. And really, most of it's one of the colors, and the other is like interspaced here and there as like accent color. So there's really only two colors left after this. So I am almost done. It just feels like I'm not. And that's probably because my brain is like, we've been doing this for forever. Why aren't we done yet? But really, there's not a ton left. And I am liking the way it's coming along. I'll probably finish it up today and post the finished pick in Discord, and then I'll show it to everybody on Sunday um, when we're live again. We have three eyeballs now. I made another eyeball today. It's it Steele said it's extra creepy with the two colors done together. And I think that's just because of the two colors I chose to do together. Like maybe it would have been better if I did like pink and yellow versus red and blue. Find my mouse again. Go to the end. We did these two as well. We do these 4 stitches back, and then we'll look for somebody to write into. That way we can avoid snoozing the ads, hopefully. And I did get a book today, a book with 25 Halloween themed cross stitches in it, so that we can start the fun season. And Alex had kind of the same idea I did. I thought, I was thinking, like, I wonder if I use a smaller hook. Ooh, you've been waiting on that tire for a while, Kevin. I'm sorry. I know waiting for roadside assistance can take a while. Oh, kitty, kitty. Pretty kitty. Yeah, we have a tuxedo cat. She weighs like 6 pounds. She's tiny. And she's over a year old. What, like 16 months old or something like that? Yes, third is still available. Along with I'm Here is always available to everyone, no matter if you get first, second, or third. Let me pull this over here so I can do that better. Congrats on third, Insane. Okay, let me look at this and see who's on. Mr. Hurrah, Ranch Pesto 9.5. We rated into Ranch Pesto yesterday, so. Kevin also streams when he's not busy. He streams Farm Sim, and Kevin is a real life farmer. So he talks all about farming, and if you have any kind of farming questions, you can ask Kevin. He's from Canada. He's our Canadian friend. Alex also streams. She builds Lego. I think she plans on streaming tomorrow. I could be wrong though. A lot of people in here stream. Finally present and accounted for. Yeah, because it doesn't count until you press the button. Let's see. Steph is on doing Warhammer stuff. Okay. I was like, I know she usually streams like Friday night ish. She's also from England, so she's from over the pond. Let's see. Yeah, you don't want to talk a bunch if it's super sore. You can always have a quiet stream, Alex. You can always just play some music. What are we doing? Okay, it says they do speak English. I think sometimes because like when I get off, like across the pond, it's like 10 o'clock. So sometimes people are just getting on, or they've only been on for a little bit, and like Australia, what it's like tomorrow afternoon or something. Um, so I always have to like make sure the person speaks English, like that their stream is in English. I can't count the number of times I've gone, I'll wade into them, and then like went to click and noticed that it was in French or like Japanese or something. Yay, kid free time! Everybody loves kid free time. Yeah, I more than I care to admit, I've hit the button and gone, oh, they don't speak English. Cancel raid. Let's do raid. This person is called the Great Yarn Dragon. I can't tell from the preview what exactly they're yarning. But and I say yarning because I don't know if they're knitting or crocheting. Um, whatever they're making, I can't tell from like the little window preview. But thank you everyone who hung out. Thank you Insane Ninja for the follow and all the chatting. I hope to see you again. Thank you to everybody who hung out, who just who just if you talked for 5 minutes, didn't talk at all, hung out for 5 minutes, or here the whole time. I appreciate it all. I thank you guys so much because without you guys, I there wouldn't really be a point to the stream. Uh, so I appreciate you hanging out, stopping by, the time you spend here, even if it's lurking without chatting. I appreciate it all. I hope you all have a great weekend. Let me press start raid before I get through my whole spiel, and then we have to sit in silence. Oh, it does look like she's crocheting something. I don't know what though. But yes, I hope you all have a great weekend. Have lots of fun, even if that fun is sleeping for 48 hours. I only care that you enjoy whatever you've done. Or accomplish whatever you set out to accomplish. Sorry, my brain like started watching what she was doing instead of paying attention. Oh, my brain. But yes, have a great weekend. I hope to see you again, whether you're in my stream, somebody else's stream, your own stream. But I enjoy talking to you guys and having communication, spending time with you guys, however you want to put it. Yes. Thank you, Laura. Laura. was planning on streaming, so I'm not sure if she has streamed or still in the process of starting to stream. But everybody like each other no matter what. Follows are free and you can have like 5,000 of them. So, stuff.